We are out here in Los Angeles, California, man. Y'all made this happen, got us to the national title game. So fired up to be here. We got to talk about legacy. Last game of the year, a lot of these guys are going to play in their last game for their respective schools, one of those being Stetson Bennett. And he is a guy that has had a lot of scrutiny around his time at Georgia, a lot of naysayers up to and including this year. But if he were to win this football game, if they were to go back-to-back, get a two-piece, extra sauce, what would be Stetson Bennett's legacy at the University of Georgia? There's a lot of things to talk about, but I think the first thing is maybe the most obvious. You put him very firmly on the Mount Rushmore of Georgia football players. There's going to be a lot of people, and I don't think it's an unfair argument, that would say he is the greatest of all time to ever put on the Georgia logo. I think it's very fair to say, but why would you make that argument? Well, look at what Georgia football has been previously. Hadn't won a national title since 1980 until last year. You're telling me Stetson Bennett's going to go out with not one, but two national titles? The argument against that is, well, he's got great players around him, right? He's got great tight ends, he's got great receivers, great backs, elite defense. Look at last year. And that's fair. I hear what you're saying. You don't win a national title without a good team. But is Stetson Bennett a less good quarterback because of having talent around him? The answer is no. The answer is emphatically no. Stetson Bennett throwing a touchdown pass to Brock Bowers doesn't make him a less elite thrower of the football. Doesn't make him a less equipped leader. I'll say this too. If they win this game on Monday night, it will without a doubt be because Stetson Bennett had a good game. Last year there were times where it felt like maybe they were managing him and like he was a guy that they won in some ways in spite of, or maybe even a better word is they won with him. They're going to win because of him on Monday night. It won't be an argument of, well, we had to game plan for Stetson Bennett. We had to help him along. No. Stetson Bennett is the catalyst now. He's the straw that stirs the drink. Make that very, very clear. Stetson Bennett, if they win on Monday night, he is without a doubt on the Mount Rushmore. I think is a very fair argument to say he's the greatest of all time, depending on how you feel about Herschel Walker and the other greats that have worn the Georgia uniform. If you haven't yet subscribed, man, love to have you. All right, we're in LA, like I said, because of y'all. Because if y'all subscribe, y'all supporting the program and getting us out here to Los Angeles, and we're extremely grateful to you for that. If you haven't yet subscribed, now's the time, man. We got you covered. Clock's going to hit triple zeros in SoFi. It'll be a celebration. It'll be a scene. Content's going to be coming well after that, okay? We got you covered all year round. Also, I would say this. When it comes to the socials, I got you. All right, I got prop bets coming for you on my Instagram. Also follow me on Twitter at JD Piquel. We got you locked in, okay? Stetson Bennett, what's his legacy? I think the other piece you look at is he embodies what Georgia football is to a T. Think about what this program is and think about what Stetson Bennett is. Gritty, tough. Stetson Bennett to a T. I mean, gets in the end zone against Tennessee, throws up the call me sign. Like, he's got an edge to him. Look at Kirby Smart and the way that he talks about his program, what he wants these guys to be. They talk about their DNA traits. That's what Georgia is too, man. That they do not have any sense of entitlement, any sense of we belong here. I mean, they do, but it's more so a sense of we've earned the right to be here. We have put in the work to be here. That's Stetson Bennett. He hears all the naysayers. He hears all the critics. He heard everybody, including myself, talking about him last year, saying, well, I don't know if you can win with Stetson Bennett. He heard that, and then he heard it again when he put up that national title trophy. I promise you, he embodies very much so what this program is from a grit perspective, but also from a development standpoint. You hear Kirby Smart talk about it all the time. Development, our process, our program, what we are, what we do here. Stetson Bennett has taken a phenomenal leap, in my opinion, from last year to this year. Like, they are very much so trusting him to run the offense, to be the catalyst for this program. There was a point during the year where they were throwing the football right around 37 times a game. Some of the top attempts in the country for a team that's not an air raid team. They trust Stetson Bennett. And his development, his progress from last year to this year, taking a huge step forward, I don't think you can overstate the impressive nature of that. I don't think you can overstate what that's meant to this football team. So Stetson Bennett paralleling them in grit and in development, them being the Georgia football program, I think it's worth talking about. And finally, the confidence piece of it. Georgia walks out there, like I said, they expect it because they've earned it. Same thing with Stetson Bennett. He was told, hey, sorry, you're not going to play here. Nobody believed in Stetson Bennett besides Stetson Bennett. And now he's worked to make it a point to where he's one of the best quarterbacks in the country, a Heisman finalist. That confidence, that was internally. Wasn't externally. It wasn't from having played a bunch of games at Georgia and being a big dog. It was not why he decided to come back. The confidence from him and now from this team. When they take that field on Monday night, it will be with the expectation to win because of what they've done behind closed doors, because of what's internal, because of their training. I love that for him. I love when a quarterback and a team just mesh so well from a persona and mentality standpoint. Good things usually happen. I'll just say that. And this is the final thing that I think Stetson Bennett's legacy will be. If they were to win, maybe I'll throw that out the window. Even if they don't win, people will remember Stetson Bennett's loyalty. We just talked about it. He was told at one point in time, hey man, appreciate you. You're not going to play here. You're a walk-on, and we just have guys in front of you that we think will give us a better chance to win. So all he did was say, okay, thank you very much. I'm still going to stay here. Stays. Eventually transfers to a junior college. And out of junior college, I promise you, he had other schools calling. Other people wanted Stetson Bennett to be their quarterback. Comes right back to Georgia on scholarship. Plays a little bit. Ends up taking over the starting job from a one JT Daniels, former 5-star quarterback. Believed in himself and had options and continued to choose Georgia. In the day and age of player mobility and NIL and transfer portal and all that, like for him, I'm not saying those are bad things, but for him to continue to pick the school, for him to continue to pick the program, a place that he grew up rooting for and loving, I think it says a lot about Stetson Bennett, and I think that's going to be one of the big things people remember him by. Not just Georgia fans, but the college football landscape in general, his loyalty to his team. So, still got to play the game, but I think he's very much so cemented as a Mount Rushmore kind of guy, could be the GOAT of college football at the University of Georgia. His traits line up so well with what Georgia is. Grit, confidence, an edge to him. That's who he is. That's who Georgia football is. That's how he'll be remembered. His loyalty. Had options. Georgia tried to force him out the door. He went out the door, came right back, says, I'm a Bulldog. Always have been, always will be. And that's special. So we will make sure you covered for every single thing regarding the national championship, regarding the rest of college football well past hits, triple zeros, and SoFi. We appreciate you. Make sure you're subscribed. We're going to keep the party rolling, and we will see y'all next time. Hey y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.